Following breaking news in South Florida, where the FBI has searched former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
An unprecedented development in the January 6th investigation.
The House Select Committee capping off its nearly two-year review, recommending former President Trump be criminally charged for his role in the riot.
37 counts total of 7 different criminal charges in this indictment.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice.
From Washington, CBS News has learned special counsel Jack Smith has filed to dismiss the D.C. federal case against former President Donald Trump.
It has been a crazy couple of days in D.C., and it's starting to look like all kinds of resistance against Donald Trump is finally starting to fizzle out. I'm sure some of you have heard already that special counsel Jack Smith has filed to drop all federal cases against Trump. These cases, of course, include the grand jury indictment that brought 40 felony counts against Donald Trump related to his alleged mishandling of classified documents after his presidency, to which he pleaded not guilty. The case marks the first federal indictment of a former U.S. president. They've also dropped the federal criminal case against Donald Trump regarding his alleged participation in attempts to overturn the 2020 U.S. presidential election, including his involvement in the January 6th Capitol incident. Now, if you read any of the leftist news articles, you'll see that they are only taking it as well as you can expect. Yahoo News reported, "The move amounts to a predictable but nonetheless stunning conclusion to a criminal case that just 1 year ago had been seen as the most perilous legal threat that he faced. It reflects the practical consequences of Trump's victory, ensuring he enters office free from scrutiny over his hoarding of top-secret documents and conduct that prosecutors said had jeopardized national scrutiny." Now, I am not going to try to spin their statement in any way, but it does seem like they're still mad at Trump for keeping those documents, and they are especially not happy about his re-election. But they are not wrong here. If Trump had not been reelected, this could have gone in a very different direction, my friends. Jack Smith has said that they're only dropping these cases because they can't prosecute the newly elected president while he is in office. So basically, Trump's win didn't just get him back into the White House, but this win also saved him from 2 very serious federal cases. And as Representative Matt Gaetz puts it, this election was do or die for Trump, and if he had lost, there's a good chance he would have become the first president in our history to go to prison after his term.
Congrats to President Trump for being 100% not guilty, but I want all Americans to remember this. If we had somehow not prevailed in this election, Jack Smith would not be dismissing these charges. He would be proceeding to trial. And though this monumental victory was won for all Americans led by President Trump, we have to remember, just like we came within fractions of fractions from civil war when President Trump survived an assassination attempt, we also were just fractions away from these people trying to throw Donald Trump in prison. So while all of us are grateful for this victory, for Trump, it was victory or prison, because he wasn't going to get a fair trial. It was going to be some knockdown, drag-out deal with a predetermined outcome. So enjoy the victory, President Trump, but the rest of us have to do all we can to ensure that no one is ever put in this type of a situation again, and we make America great again.
Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't tell you if Trump had a chance of beating these cases or not, but I can tell you that he is pretty stoked about finally getting over these legal obstacles. In a post on Truth Social, Donald Trump stated, "These cases, like all of the other cases I've been forced to go through, are empty and lawless and should never have been brought. Over $100 million of taxpayer dollars has been wasted in the Democrat Party's fight against their political opponent, me. Nothing like this has ever happened in our country before." They have also used state prosecutors and district attorneys, such as Fani Willis and her lover Nathan Wade, who had absolutely zero experience in cases such as this, but was paid millions, enough for them to take numerous trips and cruises around the globe. Letitia James, who inappropriately, unethically, and probably illegally campaigned on getting Trump in order to win win political office, and Alvin Bragg, who himself never wanted to bring this case against me, but was forced to do so by the Justice Department and the Democrat Party. Now, interestingly, Donald Trump predicted this a long time ago. In fact, he was so confident about winning this election and beating these charges that he was calling Election Day the biggest day in American history.
Stop to the boxes, hoaxes. We're going to make America great again, and 2024 is going to be the biggest year in the history of our country, and November 5th is going to be the single biggest day in the history of America. It's called Election Day. We're going to turn our country around, make America great again, greater than ever before. Thank you very much.
Frankly, the American people are exhausted with this same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me. Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA in New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you.
Now, the newly elected president and his party members have been really up in arms against all the people who tried to end his presidential run. One of these people is SEC chair and former Hillary Clinton aide Gary Gensler, who will apparently hire you on the spot if you hate Donald Trump. And as you can expect, J.D. Vance didn't really like that very much.
Senator Vance from Ohio is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to you and the ranking member for having this hearing, and thanks to Chairman Gensler for being here. I want to just ask a few questions about personnel at the SEC, Mr. Gensler. So let's just start out with the very top with you. In 2016, you were the CFO of Hillary Clinton's failed presidential campaign. Is that correct?
I was proud to be chief financial officer to the Clinton campaign.
Great. Chairman Gensler, is it also correct that your current enforcement director, Gerben Grewal, was most recently the Attorney General of New Jersey? A yes or no answer will suffice.
He served his nation well, and he was Attorney General of New Jersey.
So just to recap, the Attorney General of New Jersey is the guy who refused to enforce immigration laws and cooperate with ICE. He also launched, I believe, 8 separate investigations against Donald Trump during his time as Attorney General. Chairman Gensler, is it also correct that your recently hired General Counsel, Megan Barbero, was previously Deputy General Counsel under Nancy Pelosi and litigated 2 impeachment hearings against Donald Trump?
I believe she was Deputy General Counsel of the House of Representatives.
Great. So, and I'll also note that one of your senior enforcement counsels is married to Peter Strzok. My point here, Mr. Gensler, is that you seem to have a very troubling pattern of hiring at an impartial regulatory agency a lot of people who seem to have a vendetta against the former president.
Well, I guess it's not shocking that this guy is also leaving his job as soon as Trump takes office in January. From the looks of it, there's a cleaning operation going on in D.C., and lots of deep state actors are going to be looking for new jobs come January. But this cleanup isn't just limited to Trump's opponents. It seems like the president is also doing some house cleaning before he takes office. That's probably why he has ordered an internal investigation against his close aide, Boris Epshteyn. According to the Washington Post, the review conducted by the transition team's top lawyer, David Warrington, recommended that aides close to Trump limit Epshteyn's access to the president-elect. According to these reports, Mr. Epshteyn has been accused of seeking payments from would-be cabinet nominees. This internal review also found that Boris had unsuccessfully solicited tens of thousands of dollars from potential nominees, including Scott Bessent, who has been tapped to be Treasury Secretary. One day after Trump met with Bessent for the first time in February, Epstein allegedly invited him to lunch at a hotel in Palm Beach, where he asked for a monthly retainer of at least $30,000 to promote his name at Mar-a-Lago in case Trump won the election. Bessent declined and complained to an aide that Epstein tried to shake him down. Later, when Epstein asked Bessent to invest $10 million in a 3x3 basketball league, he declined but told associates Epstein would probably give him better access if he had taken up the offer. Now, Mr. Epstein has straight up denied all these allegations, and in his statement he said, "I am honored to work for President Trump and with his team. These fake claims are false and defamatory and will not distract us from making America great again." Now, Boris has not had very good relations with other people from Trump's inner circle, even though the president has always supported him. Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson have both remarked to associates that they did not understand why Trump placed so much trust in Epstein. I mean, only a week ago, some news outlets reported that Elon Musk got into a huge fight with Boris and accused him of leaking Trump's cabinet pics to the media before any official announcement. Now, we don't know if this story is true, but it's clear that a lot of people around Trump don't like Mr. Epstein, and yet the president still trusts him. And according to multiple aides and associates, Trump trusts Boris so much because he regards him as a major reason for how he sidestepped legal peril during the 2024 campaign. And we all know how important those legal victories have been for Trump. Now, I'm not sure how this internal struggle will be resolved, but I think Mr. President should take care of this as soon as possible because he's already up against the deep state and he cannot afford any bad eggs around him. I would love to know what you think about the DOJ dropping these cases against Trump. Do you think they were genuinely trying to do the right thing, or were those cases just there to slow down Trump in his march to the White House? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it, and remember you can support this channel by subscribing and by becoming a member. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.